400 DPI, 0.35. 140 DPI if you want to convert your DPI to, well, if you have a higher one. Don't do what that guy does. Like, stop moving and go into the crouch spray. Especially at close ranges. Because all you do is pull the crosshair off. I used 0.3 in game, I think. And 1600. That's mad. You know the average EDPI is like 280 for a pro player. Is that bad? I mean, if you're comfortable with it, mate, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Are you a wrist player? You have to be a wrist player with that level of sense. Wrist and arm, I guess. What would you say you use more, your wrist or your arm? Maybe your wrist. I would assume wrist, but obviously I haven't seen you play, or like your hand stuff, right? But the reason why I don't like, me personally, why I don't like high sense is because I can't adjust. Like with say like that fight there, I'd be like over here. Like it would be very difficult for me to like keep that crosshair like around really kind of you know. So my micro adjustment on that sense is very difficult to control. But if you can control it, that's fine. But if you can't, then do that sense test that we were talking about the other day about where you get your EDPI and stuff. In me personally, I would use my wrist for micro adjust with like my fingers, like a small bit of my wrist, small bit of my fingers for micro adjust, and anything other than that is my arm. That to give you a bit of an indicator, just go into the range real quick. Okay, so let's say, I don't know, like, so I'm going to here and I'm going to over there. That's a wrist movement, right? That's a full wrist movement. Arm movement, sorry. This is a full arm movement. And even if I, let's say, flick over to here and I want to get back over to him, that's still arm. Even here is arm. But I think like around this area is now wrist and fingers. But then like if I'm up here, then it's arm. Then obviously it's going to be arm with like here, like over there, right? That's going to be full arm movement. Okay. Is it wide or wireless? Wired? Okay. I would suggest go wireless. So the reason for that is because like when the wire comes out of the mouse, I've got a wide mouse here. When the wire comes out of the mouse, it like lays on your desk like that, it can create like, so like that, it can create like friction on the desk, and it tugs and stuff. And that small bit of friction can be the difference between if you get a kill or not. Because of that small, like those micro adjustments really do matter. So if you're looking at micro adjustments, you have to look at the micro of your setup. If you can't afford to upgrade, don't do it, right? If you can't afford to it, don't do it. Don't do it for the sake of ranking up in Val, right? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But if you do have the money and you do have the, you know what I mean? I would definitely suggest to upgrade to it. It looks like a lightweight one as well. Like it's got the lightweight stuff in it. Like it's got the lightweight stuff. It's for like a 70-gram mouse. $68. Oh, I said 70-gram mouse is 68, bro. I have Hulk hands too. How tall are you? Because that will kind of depend on like how you use your mouse. Because if you have 6'5", fuck me. Okay, but I'm like 5 foot. When you're holding your mouse with those kind of like with larger hands, you got like quite a large surface area to like go off of. So I think it's quite difficult to actually have like larger hands and to be able to find a lightweight mouse at the same time, because the smaller that they come. I haven't actually experimented with that stuff yet, because again, I've got tiny hands and I've got a tiny mouse. But if the mouse suits you and it fits you, that's just kind of keep using it. And if you can afford to kind of experiment with different mice or do the research on it, like people who are 6'5" that are pro players, see what mice they use. Because you got prosettings.net. And if you go onto here, you can go like, you got all these pro Val settings here. So you got all the pro players. I don't know who's tall. I think Aspas is quite tall. And these are their settings, right? So it'll give you their crosshair, what they use. These are their settings and their qualities and stuff. This is their mouse. Okay, so he uses the he's the same mouse as me. Oh, he uses the 2, the Superlight 2. We've got the 1. But yeah, you can kind of like go through here and see what like kind of like what they're using and stuff. Isn't the Viper mouse bigger? Oh, the Viper. The issue is that you're going to have to find a mouse that fits your hand nicely, as well as it being light at the same time. And I don't have the mouse knowledge to tell you that. Because I've only got to experiment with my mouse and my hands, right? Yeah, I'll do some research. But if your mouse is working for you now, then just carry on using it, right? Like, there's no need to switch up if your mouse is like doing good for you. The issue that I see there is that I'll think like if the mouse is small and your hands are quite big, I think like a lot of your kind of like your wrist here is like potentially on the desk, which could again create more friction. Yeah, that part does touch the desk. Okay, so you kind of want to lift, like you kind of want to like pull as much forward on the mouse as you can to try and get that off the desk. And I think that's what makes people wrist players as well, because that's kind of their anchor point. But once you lift that off the desk, you start using your arm a bit more. You will miss quite a bit, but you'll become more accurate in the long term. I don't really have like a setup where I can show you like my mouse or my hands. My grip on the mouse is obviously like 2 fingers there. I tuck my thumb on the top of the mouse there like that. And then these 2 fingers like are spread out. And my fingers are my anchor point. So what I'll do is that I don't like kind of like grip the mouse like that. I kind of like spread these out a bit. And then if I want to get like even more micro adjust, I'll anchor my fingers and then I'll use finger movement. So then like I push them into the desk and then just like tiny micro adjust now. So like if I come into a 1v1 with this guy, I dig them into the table and now I have like tiny micro adjust here.